And she was like, why aren't you losing weight? What is going on? You about to be obese. And I'm like, man, I'm on this honey bun a day diet, man. Doctor, my goodness. She was like, a honey bun a day? Girl, go to the lab. We need to check your cholesterol. Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. And if you are not already a part of our book club, please remember to hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's continue talking about Jenifer Lewis, the mother of Black Hollywood, a memoir. The sexual revolution was still in full swing. Despite my Baptist upbringing, I'd been sexually active since my teens. As a young woman, I was pleased with my ability to attract men and had never been shy about talking about my sexual escapades. In fact, I cracked everybody up with my exaggerated stories. Girl, it was so big that when he stood up in the bathtub, he knocked out my front tooth. Ultimately, my girlfriends nicknamed me Dick Diva. One night, after earning 2 ovations, I knew I was not going to bed alone. I escaped drinks with the rest of the UB cast and went off on my own to a disco. As the bouncer unhooked the velvet rope for me, he flashed a perfect set of teeth with a big ultra-bite smile. He was so beautiful, there was no thought in my brain other than, nigga, you going down. Back a bitch that's just like, she walk up to you and be like, what you doing? Who you looking for? Me? I know it's me. You want me, don't you? I mean, I respect and then be able to get up the next day and go on like, you know, like it didn't happen. Child, that's vicious to me. That's my hero. We spent a few hours at the club chatting about his travels and studies before I took him back to my hotel and drew a bubble bath. Now, let me tell you how this is something that me and Jenifer Lewis have in common, okay? Mick pretty much was like my big sister, although she was my cousin, right? And Mick pretty much groomed me a certain way, you know, like, you know, and I was like, Mickey, what do I do when it hurts? She told me, you reach down. No, she said, first, you tell that motherfucker get off you, okay? And if he don't get off you, you reach down and you pop a grape, okay? And then you run like hell, all right? And then come tell me and I'll take care of his ass, right? She also told me that it is very important that you look at a ding-a-ling before you touch it. Jenifer Lewis and her Judy was playing hooky one day while they was in junior high, okay? They walking along, walking along the street, minding their business until this big Cadillac pulled up beside them. It was the town prostitution. She pulls up next to the girl and say, y'all get y'all hot pussies in the back seat, okay? The lady up front, the prostitute, I think her name was Fat Jackie or Big Jackie, something like that, right? They get to a stoplight. The girls don't know where they going, okay? I'd be nervous as hell because I'm like, wait a minute, where's this prostitute about to take me? I'm not selling no pussy for her, you know, or to none of her friends or nothing like that. But these girls, you know, this was during a time where you respected your elders, okay? Whether they was prostitutes or junkies or whoever. The girls in the back, They looking at each other like, what Fat Jackie about to do with me or do with us? Okay. Fat Jackie turns around with a chicken bone in her hand like this. So what you little girls doing? Y'all fucking yet? If you do fuck them, always check the meat. The process that she used to check the meat was the same process that I used before, and still to this day, I have to wash my body before I lay down with somebody. I have to. You can't touch me. Like, you can't just walk up to me and be like, oh, give me some, all random. There's no spontaneity in our relationship at all, because I have to cleanse my body for, you know, my partner. I want my partner to have a pure experience with me, okay? And if I'm giving you that experience, then I need you to give me that same experience. I'm going to check your balls to make sure that you don't have a nutty butt, and you can check my body to make sure that I don't have a nutty butt, okay? That's how we, you know, make sure that when we lay down with each other, it's going to be puh and no problems, okay? Because you don't want to get that nutty butt disease. You don't want to do that. In the bubble bath, I checked out the bouncer, Mr. Clark Gable, whose name was actually Maurice, child. He turned out to be a master of Sharakan karate with an 8-pack torso and a ding-a-ling the size of a small garden gnome. I sank lower in the bubbles thinking, Merry Christmas. Girl, that is not a present. It's a present for that day. Okay, but to do that regularly, girl, please. I keep telling y'all, men, let me help you out, man. Toodles. Yeah, men, let me help you out. Do not worry because you don't have the biggest pickle in the friggin' world. Don't worry about that because real talk, that's just what we talking about. We don't want to hunch that shit every day, okay? And you men with the little pickles in the world, 9 times out of 10, the fellatio be like on 20 million gazillion. For the next couple of weeks while Yubi played Chicago, Maurice joined my rotation of sex partners, which always included a musician I met named Steve, along with Ken and Perry via phone. Usually I would see a guy for a few months, often juggling him along with a few others. Yes, y'all, I was skilled. Oh, yes, you was, baby. It wasn't like any of them was your boyfriend, so it ain't like you doing nothing truly spectacular, because if they was your man or if you had a man, that would be something different, okay? Because, you know, for you to have a whole bunch of sex partners, that's one thing. Niggas don't care. They don't care who else you hunching. They just want to know, can they get some? Things were going pretty well until I found out that Steve was planning to get married. Like I said, I've always been dramatic. Steve's news gave me overwhelming pain, and I missed a performance because of it. Not that I wanted to marry him. I had a rule never to mess with other women's men. How's that? What? What? But not to worry. Steve was soon replaced with Pierre and Jerome. Do you know what that remind me of, y'all? That kind of remind me of The Coldest Winter Ever. Remember how she would pick guys up and then throw them away and then pick them up and then throw them away, but she was the victim? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he did this to me, he did that to me, but bitch, you're not counting the fact that you fucked his cousin. Did that happen in The Coldest Winter Ever? But you know what I'm saying? No, that happened in The Coldest Winter 2 when Winter was hunching the father, the brother, and the other brother. Y'all know I did that book, right? Okay, just checking. Basically, I had a man in every port. Although I started out in Detroit dickless, I soon met Leon, a professional masseuse who gave me a massage in my hotel room and came back 2 days later for sex. My wife has a family member that is a masseuse, right? He's a guy. And I had said to her, I said, you know your family member is selling dick, right? And she was like, no, he's not doing that. You can't tell a Virgo shit. Because if they, you can't tell a Virgo shit. Because if they ain't say it, then it ain't true. Okay? If it don't come out their mouth, then it ain't believable. All right? I said to her, I said, he's definitely selling dick. She was like, no, he just goes in, he massages them, blah, blah, blah. I was, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? They go to them rich women's houses. It don't even matter what color, you know, so most of them be single. Okay. They don't have time for a relationship. So what they do have time for is a fucking massage, right? So the dude goes away with his original fee, but the tip, baby, be what he's really getting paid for. Okay, yeah, my masseuse fee is $120 per hours. Okay, anything after that is $200 per minute. Okay, you know, and my girlfriend, who you know, who's a masseuse. Okay, she was like, yeah, we spend like 30 minutes getting dressed and you know, and oiling up our bodies so we can look nice, and you know, and by the time we get to you, you know, your hour is up. Anything after that, it's like $200 per like 10 minutes, something like that. Needing attention from more than one man, I felt the need to check in with all my boyfriends. I called Ken, the journalist in New York, and Maurice in Chicago. I hung up when a woman answered Maurice's phone. Now, you know, just to be clear, although she got all these ninjas on her line, she says that the main one will always be, I keep forgetting we're not in love anymore. I love that song. I keep forgetting things will never be the same again. I keep forgetting how you made that so clear. Thank y'all for always humoring me when it comes down to my voice, okay? One of the most popular recording artists around this time was the sultry Phyllis Hyman. When I heard she was playing in Detroit, of course I had to go see her. Phyllis was a sexy, quiet Amazon who demanded your attention. You would bow down as soon as she hit the stage. Her stunning beauty, 6-foot frame, and that big-ass hat she always wore made her an imposing and impressive live performer. I admired Phyllis not only for her talent. In television interviews, she had spoken out about racism in the music industry and the price she had paid for being a black woman and telling it like it is. Phyllis was not a belter like me. She was softer and quieter, but still very powerful. Most important, she had achieved the success that I dreamed of. Watching her sing was a rush because it was proof that my dream was possible. Through my eyes, that was me on stage. Her performance and mastery thrilled and excited me to the point that I couldn't get to sleep until 8 the next morning, which caused me to sleep right through our matinee show. But I was willing to take the hit of losing a day's pay to experience the great Phyllis Hyman. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a pretty tall woman. You know, I'm not 6 foot, but when I put on heels, if I'm 5'7", put on 4-inch heels, man, fuck them 4-inch heels, fuck them heels, okay? But put on, let's say, 3-inch heels, 3.5-inch heels. I always find a really nice kitten heel. Not 2, you know, but I'll do 3 or 3.5 just because my wife is like, you never wear heels, man, fuck them heels. Now, part of the reason why I don't like heels is because I already feel or felt very insecure about how tall I was. Being 5'7" in a world of bitches that's between 4'11" and 5'5" was friggin' tragedy. When you're constantly living in a world where you got all these men that's like over 6 feet tall and they don't want no parts of you because you're too tall at 5'7", right? Because they don't want you, Miss 5'7" girl. They want the 4'11" girl, the 5'2" girl, the little girl that they can pick up, fold her up, and put in their pocket. That's who they want. So I always had a sense of insecurity about being tall. I still do. I don't like really wearing heels. But Phyllis Hyman was the person who gave me the inclination that, wait a minute, this is a big, beautiful, bouncing baby girl. Okay? She is big, just like, who else is that? Jasmine Sullivan. Another big, beautiful, bouncing, Amazon, beautiful black woman. Another one. And them damn girls don't have no problems with wearing heels. Bitch, if you don't get yourself together, I'm gonna get myself together. But I ain't putting no motherfucking heels on. During the weeks on the road, it seemed like I always had a cold. No surprise, considering my diet consisted of chips, pickles, and Manischewitz swine. I ate lots of cheese, which I now know puts mucus on the vocal cord. So 1 year, give me 2 minutes. 1 year, it was probably the summer of 2016. Y'all, I had a caramel frappe from McDonald's every fucking day. You hear me? Every frigging day. That's how I started my day, every day. All I knew was I couldn't drop no weight, and I had a constant cough. I mean, constant. You know, like all the time. I'm getting busy in my fucking, I'm hacking up mucus. All I know is I had a cold that would not go away. And it was because I was eating all that dairy. And I didn't know that. Or drinking all that dairy. And I didn't know that at first. I ate lots of cheese, which I now know puts mucus on the vocal cords. I also had no clue that a steady diet of Kentucky Fried Chicken and donuts wasn't a good idea. Damn. Ooh, that sounds so good. I don't eat Kentucky Fried Chicken because that shit's give me heartburn. But, ooh, a steady diet, a donut. Did I tell y'all about that year I put myself on a honey bun a day diet? Ooh, my doctor was like, Nay, what the hell is going on with you? Child, I just kept going up, up, up. And she was like, why aren't you losing weight? What is going on? You about to be obese. And I'm like, man, I'm on this honey bun a day diet, man, doctor. My goodness. She was like, a honey bun a day? Girl, go to the lab. We need to check your cholesterol. It wasn't surprising then that midway through the Detroit run, I had to have my costume let out a full inch. Maxie, the head of wardrobe, looked me dead in the eye and gave me some of the best advice of my life. She had spent years in the theater and witnessed numerous svelte entertainers bloom beyond the point of no return. I wonder if she talk about Nail Carter. Don't do it, Jenifer, she said sternly. You will never be able to get it off. Her advice has stayed with me and is one of the reasons that 30 years later, I am still in pretty good shape and still cute. Thank you very much. After Detroit, there was a short break in the tour, so I flew back to Manhattan for a couple of weeks. Landing at Kennedy, I took a bus to Columbus Circle. It was the midst of the great transit strike of 1980. Ooh, I remember that. I walked to Colony Records and bought the new Dionne Warwick album that included You Know I'll Never Love This Way Again. Y'all didn't know I knew some of that Dionne Warwick, did y'all? My mama used to call her pig nose. I'm like, Mom, how you gonna call her pig nose when my nostrils is like 20 times bigger than hers, Mama? That's not nice, Mama. Don't do that. Don't call that lady pig nose. She'd be like, fuck that pig nose. I couldn't wait to wrap my vocal cords around those high notes come the next audition. Despite my resolve to watch my weight, I treated myself to a Sunday at Howard Johnson's. I started to crash from having been on tour so long. I found it very difficult to adjust after the excitement and elevation of performing every night. My solution was to blast Ethel Merman until the wee hours. My poor neighbors. Couldn't be here because my goddamn wife would be like, while she throwing a party. You hear me? My wife could be throwing a goddamn party. And if the neighbor's music is too loud, excuse me, your music is too loud, okay? You got to turn that shit down because we over here having a party. Your music can't be higher than my music, child. I'm married to a Virgo. Come the next morning, I was back into my routine of dance classes and voice lessons every day. Within a day or so of arriving back in the city, I was having phone sex with Ken around 1 in the morning when someone buzzed from downstairs. To my surprise, it was Gregory Hines. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. Now remember this, the same people that you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. My naysayers, my patron loves. You babies, have a good one. Peace. Child, I got to cook my wife dinner before she get home.